definitely something special about driving a different Porsche for the first time, and I can only compare it really to maybe a kid opening their gifts on Christmas morning. This is Porsche's 7th generation 911. It replaced the 997, and it was replaced by the Porsche 992. This particular model has stop-start, as it's just turned off there. It's a 2012 Carrera S with 395, 400 brake horsepower, depending on what you read. It doesn't have sport chrono, doesn't have cruise control, doesn't have front parking sensors. It doesn't have a huge list of options. But one thing it does have is the sports exhaust, which is fantastic. Now it has 75,000 miles on the clock, which is actually pretty high for a Porsche 911 991, but not necessarily high mileage for a 2012 car in general. It's called aqua blue, the color, and it's quite a rare color actually. So this is one of the things that actually drew me to the vehicle in the first place. I missed out on an aqua blue 991 a few years ago, and I was quite disappointed actually. So to see this one come up really excited me. Now this car does have a full Porsche service history, Porsche main dealer service history, and it's been well looked after. Now I am of the opinion that I'd rather buy a higher mileage car that has been properly and professionally looked after, rather than a lower mileage car which has a bit of a dubious service history. So it always pays to buy on condition and not necessarily the mileage. And so how come I bought this car in error, by accident, by mistake? Well, there was one big reason, and I have to go back to Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, you're missing all the greatest content in the world on there. So by all means, follow me on Instagram. But if you do follow me on Instagram, you might know that a few months ago there was a little bit of noise surrounding my Porsche 997, and my plan was to sell the 997. So I'd sort of gone through the process of servicing the car, getting a little bit of work done to it, putting the GT3 wheels on, putting the GT3 spoiler, full aero kit back on the car. And my plan was to obviously sell the car. And so while I was preparing the 997 for sale, I seen this aqua blue 991 come up for sale. And I was a little bit put off at first by the high mileage, but I went down to London, I checked it out, it all checked out, it was in great condition, it is in great condition, hadn't been ragged all over the place like I'd half expected it to be. So it was really surprising to see the car in this condition, in this excellent condition. And as I say, I went down to London, the deal was done there and then, and I thought, perfect, I found my 997 replacement. All I had to do was sell my 997, after my holiday of course. And that's where things started to get a little bit misty, because when I was on my holiday, it gave me quite a bit of sort of thinking time. The more and more I thought about it, I actually realized that I just couldn't sell the 997. So here I am with a 991, a 997, this guy passed. So here I am, yeah, with a 997 that I can't get rid of. It doesn't feel right to sell my 991, straight away just after I'd bought it. Of course, I've got my 981 Cayman as well, but I'm not ready to give that up yet. So I'm now left with 3 cars. What am I supposed to do? Sell one of them? And I think the answer to all of this was actually staring at me square in the face. I previously made a video on Porsche myths stating that the 911s do not make a good daily driver. And while I still kind of agree with that comment, certainly for the 996s and 997s, it's maybe a little bit easier to do in the 991s and the 992s. Let's see if I can get in here. In fact, no, I'll stay in this lane. But it makes my decision a little bit easier because obviously I do have an Audi A6 Avant, which is an estate car, and also a van as well. So it makes my decision a little bit easier. But honestly, I don't even mind getting this car dirty. I don't mind letting the dog in with his dirty paws, and I think that would probably drive most people crazy though. City centre traffic. So I'm stuck in traffic here, but this is my new Porsche daily driver, guys. I am super excited about it. I probably don't come across that way in my videos at times, but I am super excited, and it won't stay like this for long, to be honest with you, because I've got a lot of modifications planned, almost kind of like a GTS look. So I'm putting the aero kit on, I'm going to lower the suspension, I'm going to put the different wheels on, I'm going to put a bit of a GTS sort of homage, I think this car will probably turn out to be. So I'm back in my workshop now, and I know what you're saying. You can't daily drive a Porsche 911. There's just not enough space. And I hear what you're saying, I really do. But I have a plan, and I'll come to that in a moment. Before I get to that though, I want to show you this POR version 3.0 tool, which I used before I bought this particular vehicle. And I want to show you some of the checks that I did on the vehicle to make sure that the car was as good as it was described. And we'll turn the ignition on. Make sure the radio is off. So first of all, I'm going to check for faults in the main system. So the main system being the engine, first of all. Read fault code, no fault code found, which is good. And then the other main systems, I guess you've got like the airbags, you've got the ABS system. That will come under PSM, I guess. PSM, Porsche Stability Management, no fault code found. So that's the fault code reading side of things, or you can do a quick test of the whole vehicle, and as you can see, we've got pass, 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 pass. We do have some faults in some of the smaller systems, which isn't really much of a problem. So long as you've got the main systems which are passing, then that is all I'm sort of really interested in. So one of the super important features of this tool is being able to read the mileage from the ECU of the vehicle and not just the cluster. If people are going to change the mileage on the vehicle, it's generally changed on the cluster and not the ECU of the vehicle. So this will read the genuine mileage from the ECU. So if we go into DME, which is the engine system, we go to view data, we go to general, then we need to scroll down. In the 991, it's displayed as mileage. On a different vehicle, it might be displayed as total distance driven, something like that. So we'll select the mileage, click F1, and it's giving us a reading of 122,616 kilometers, which is equal to, at the time of making this exact segment on the video, 76,190 miles. So it all adds up, and that is one of the most important features of this tool, being able to check the genuine mileage of a vehicle. It works from cars from, say, like the 991, the 981 era onwards. So anything like your 992s, your 991s, your 981s, your newer Panameras, Cayennes, Macans, you can check the mileage with this tool. And you know me, I'll pop the link in the description. So I talked about space a little earlier in the video, and this is how I'm going to solve that problem. In this box right here, we have a set of roof bars which run across the vehicle, and then on the roof bars, I'm going to be putting my Fuel Vector roof box. You're probably thinking, please don't put a roof box on a 911. Well, I'm going to, sorry. But I'm going to install these right now. I'm probably going to make a more dedicated video on how to install these as well. But for you guys, this is going to happen really quick. So let's do business. And the last step is to put these rubber inserts on, lock everything up. Incidentally, these roof bars are the same roof bars for the Porsche 992, and they do start with a 992 part number. I'll pop the link, should I say the part number to these in the description below this video. But now what I need to do is get the roof box on top and see what it looks like. Yeah, I think it's gonna look pretty good. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Would you dare to put a roof box on a 991 Porsche 911?